Hey guys, after dodging rain all day, I'm finally getting around to changing out the thermostat on my 1999 Chaparral 2330 SS. It's got a 5.7 liter, 260 horse, electronic fuel injected V8, and got the thermostat kit, which comes with all the gaskets and everything needed. And I went ahead and bought a new sleeve. There's a little plastic sleeve in there that sometimes breaks when you're taking it apart, and I just wanted to have one on hand in case I break it. I have already determined that my temperature gauge is working properly by undoing the wire coming off the temperature sender and then giving it a good ground, turning on the ignition. When it's not grounded, I've got nothing reading on the gauge. When it is grounded, it pegs all the way to the top. So I know my gauge is working perfectly, and so I'm going to change out this thermostat and see if we can't take care of some issues here, and hopefully I won't need to do a temperature sender, but we'll find out after I get it on the water this weekend. So let me show you what we're looking at here. I'm going to turn the camera around. That's the engine, and I've already removed the hoses and I've already loosened up the two bolts, which are 9/16. And here are the parts as well. You've got the Quicksilver thermostat kit, and if you look on the back side of it, you can see that it comes with all the necessary gaskets and O-rings to replace this. And then I've got the sleeve, which I'll probably just go ahead and put in a new sleeve, whether mine is damaged or not, just so it'll be new. Once again, I've already removed my hoses, and I've broken these two nuts loose, and I'm going to go ahead and remove them now. So this should be fairly easy, I hope. There's one bolt out. And there's the thermostat. That was fairly easy. I don't see an O-ring, which I think is supposed to go on top of that, right up here in this housing. So that could be a problem. And getting this old gasket off is going to be fun. But I'll come back in a minute for that. So I discovered what's going on here. My little plastic ring is actually not in the boat at all. It wasn't down here in the housing. There was no O-ring on the other side, and I think the thermostat was just bouncing around in there. So hopefully when I get it all put together with the right parts in the right places, and I'm going to get it all cleaned up, I'm basically having to take a chisel and work this old gasket off. It's on there so tight, or sealed on from heat. But I'm going to get it all straightened out, and when I get it buttoned back up, I'll come back and show you how we did. All right, bye. Okay, so I got this all cleaned up, and I'll show you what I've got down here. That looks better. I should be able to get a good conductivity for the little brass rings and get good signal to my temp sender. This is the housing for the thermostat, and like I said, it did not have this plastic ring in it, nor did it have an O-ring in it when I took it apart. So I'm going to put it back together right quick, and I'm going to see if I can hold the phone and let y'all see this. So the appropriate order is the O-ring. The O-ring goes in first, and you seat that. There's a little lip in there, so you seat that O-ring down in that lip. Then thermostat with the spring, if you're doing it upside down like this, the spring facing you goes into the housing. And then your plastic ring, and you'll notice if you look inside the housing, we'll tilt it up here. Let me take that thermostat back out, it'll be easier to see. There is the water passage right there. So there's an indicator on the side of this that fits into this little groove to let you know that you got your plastic sleeve going back in the right way. So you pop it in, that way it does not restrict the water flow to the thermostat, and press this sleeve in, and it's pretty snug. Test fitting it without the thermostat in it, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get this put back together. So then your O-ring would go on, or not your O-ring, your gasket would go on, and then this whole thing, there's the little brass rivets in the gasket that help conductivity so that your temp sensor gets a good signal. And then you just flip all this back upside down and plop it on here. And I'm actually gonna put the gasket on the base, and then I'm gonna put it back together. And I will come back when we get it buttoned up. Thank you. All right, guys, she is buttoned back up, and I would love to test her right this second, but I realize I don't have any muffs here at the house. So I'm gonna run up to Walmart, get some muffs, and come back and I'll test it. So I've got her running. I've got my temp gauge. Gauge on the dashboard is starting to come up. It was below 120 when we started, and it's starting to ease its way up. That's right on the front of the head. I believe this indicates a functioning thermostat. It is open right now, and when it closes, that temperature will start to climb pretty quick now that the engine is up to temp. Here we go. Let's see if I can catch this again. I watched it happen a couple times. There she goes, climbing. Moving up, and she should open up and cool off here in just a second. And there she goes. I would say we're in business, boys. It looks like that's a successful repair. I've got no leaks coming out of the housing. Everything looks good, and I'm gonna call that done. See you later.